Hey, I'm Ella and this is the house under the Norfolk tree. So you are standing in my entryway. I bought this house last year in 2023. She's a 1968 beach house in Perth, Western Australia. I've been slowly chipping away at renovating it whilst also working full time. I want to share a bit of my renovation journey. So I thought, what better way to start than do a current house tour. There's a lot still to change, but we've also done a lot of work. I live here with two of my best friends and we have a lot of fun. And we also live with my dog Bindi, who's a character in herself. She's the mascot for the house under the Norfolk. So come this way. This is my wonderful dining room. If you take a look at the floors, it's actually parquetry, which I was very excited to find. There was originally pink swirly carpet here, so I was very happy to find parquetry underneath, although it was not in this condition. I have my dad to thank for sanding it and refinishing it, so thanks Dad. All these walls you see were covered in wallpaper. I had a lot of friends help me scrape away the wallpaper, and then we prepared the walls and painted them. Preparing the walls really sucked, so I love my white walls now. It was all very worth it. Let's go through to my kitchen. So if you come through this little entryway here, you'll see the floor changes to this wonderful lino, which I thought I was gonna get rid of. And then I realized under it was more lino, and that lino was so glued to the floor that I had no chance of removing it. So there's lots of paint splatters all over my kitchen floor, which is really fun. I live with a few housemates, so this is our little shared calendar where we write what we're doing, but I won't reveal their lives to you. So this is how the kitchen came. She's very cabiny. There's lots of wood, and underneath the wood, would you believe, is more wallpaper. So that's so much fun. So nothing has changed in the kitchen at all. I have not touched it, except I had a very helpful mum who assisted in covering these chipboard cupboards and drawers in contact, because it was bare chipboard and that is not what you want. The cupboards are not very fun. They are terrible actually. This kitchen, originally I thought she'll be right, and now as I've lived in this house, I've realised the kitchen is definitely going to need a reno ASAP. So right now we're just making do and enjoying the cabin vibes. The kitchen actually originally had one of those big fluorescent strip lights up here, and our wonderful friend who's an electrician popped in a lot of downlights for me. So I'm very thankful. Thank you, Chris. So it's been a bit of a journey, but the least touched is the kitchen. So you can see the 1968 beach house charm. I also just want to touch on my dining room. I know you're all probably wondering where this is from. You're definitely not. This was a marketplace purchase. These marketplace purchases, pretty much everything you see in this house is marketplace, because I am broke and I have no money and I'm paying a massive mortgage. But for those wondering, for all my fans out there. So I'd like to show you into one of my favorite rooms in the house, and it was originally one of the reasons I fell in love with this specific house, was this room. Mind you, I'll insert a picture of what it looked like then, but I saw its potential. So this is my living room. I love this room primarily because of those windows over there. I have them covered up with the sheer curtains from IKEA, but most of the time those are open, and I love spending time in here. I sit here in the morning and I drink my coffee and I love it so much. Originally every wall you see was covered in wallpaper again, and the floor that you're looking at now was also carpet, the same pink carpet with swirls. The fun of this room was when I pulled the carpet back, it ended up being unfinished concrete, but the unfinished concrete was in such terrible condition, and I knew I didn't want to put carpet in here, so I didn't know what to do. So I had a wonderful friend and he re-poured the whole concrete floor in here, and he is the reason this floor looks so good and This is one of my favorite floors in the house. As you can see here, this was also one of the reasons I love this house. It's got a bit of charm, it's got a bit of character. This was originally a fireplace, a proper open fireplace, but they inserted this gas fireplace in. Maybe one day I'd like to restore and have a real wood fireplace, so stay tuned for that. And another thing I love about this room is actually the ceiling and the lights. Maybe they're not your vibe, but they're definitely my vibe. I love me some retro glass lights, so that was a definite win. This door goes out to one section of my garden, and I won't go out there today. That's a video for another day. But this is the veggie patch garden. So there's lots of fruit trees being planted, lots of veggies starting to grow. I love how much land that this house has. So that was also one of the reasons I fell in love with this house, was the block. Not just proximity to the beach, not just walking distance to the beach, but also heaps of land to enjoy. I also kind of fell in love with these doors initially. There's two of them in this room and they lead into the dining room. I loved them. I honestly loved them, and now I am starting to dislike the amount of orange wood in this house. So I don't know what I plan to do with this space, but I think making it a little bit less orange will help me out, because that fireplace area is orange, this table is orange, these are orange, the skirting boards are orange, the door frames are orange. But I do love the skirting boards and the door frames, so I don't really want to touch them. But there's just a lot of orange. So let's head down this way and I'll show you the rest of the house. So if you come through this door, which connects to my dining room and my kitchen area, you'll find this random little nook area. This is one of my favourite pieces of furniture. My pa actually built it for my mum, so it's very special to me. I also would like to point out these wonderful lights. Again, the lights in this house, namely the lights here and in the living room, I love. And then there were some really bad lighting choices elsewhere in the house, like that light in the kitchen that was there. But these ones I love and I really want to keep. I'll take you through this way quickly. This is my laundry. It's very boring and not a lot has been done. But again, every white wall you're seeing was not white. It had wallpaper on it. This specific wallpaper was bad. It was like a moldy blue disgustingness. So that was all ripped off, and now you see white walls. There was also a manky little cabinet here, which I removed and got this one from IKEA. Thank you, IKEA. Nothing's changed here. This sink is terrible, and it's definitely moldy down there, but just try not to think about that. This is where my dog sleeps. That's why there's a baby gate here, because we close her in here at night. This is my laundry cupboard. Another great thing about this house is I looked at a lot of houses in this kind of era, in this area, and a lot of them were really small and pokey and did not have any storage. So I love that this house has storage, like ample storage throughout. This is my laundry cupboard. It's actually huge. And then there's a little cupboard up there. I also didn't touch on this cupboard. Is it weird? Should I be showing my cupboards? This is a weird cupboard. I don't know what to do with this. It's at the entryway again, but what is it for? I'd love to know. Right now it's just got no use really. If you come back through this way, you'll see my wonderful hallway to the rest of my house, so come on. Now this hallway used to be one of my least favourite places, because not only was there the most intense wallpaper on these walls that actually made me feel sick, but there was also one singular globe light, a really dodgy globe light down the end of this hallway, and at night time, when I was renovating at like 10 p.m. or pulling wallpaper off at 10 p.m, I hated being in this hallway. It literally made me sick. So very glad it doesn't make me sick anymore. If you come through this way, you'll see a bedroom here. I won't go into it because it's my housemate's bedroom, but you'll see our bathroom. There's a lot going on in here. Literally nothing's changed. I've done nothing to the bathroom except pull out the handles that were everywhere. So an old person did live here, and that meant there were handles in a lot of the spots in the house. The vanity's basically falling apart. There's really not much I'd want to salvage from this bathroom, and I'm thinking of doing a full reno soon. If you can see my wonderful yellow bathtub, no one I know has been brave enough to use this bathtub. Even though it's relatively clean, we use it to water our plants sometimes. It's scary. It's like in the ground, it's yellow, and the handle there just makes me feel uncomfortable. We'll also touch on my favorite part of the house, which is this tile here. Love this tile. Could talk about this tile all day, I won't, but I discovered it here and I thought, who thought of that? Like, that is actually the best thing ever. The rest of the tiles are also really funky. Don't love them a lot. And this is my shower. It's pretty standard. It's actually pretty big. As you can see, there's like marks in the wall from where we've pulled out handles. Changed the shower head because that shower head, the old shower head, was so aggressive. It was like razor sharp. It was probably original to the house. So I'm very glad I made that investment. Another feature of this bathroom is actually this light that's also super aggressive. It's the most unflattering lighting in this bathroom, if you can't already tell from looking at me. But I don't know where that is from. It is like a workshop light. It is not made for a bathroom. Literally, it grinds me every time I come in here, but I just haven't gotten around to changing it. Whatever, we have to deal with that. There's also a hole in the roof. Let's not talk about it, let's just move on. The floor that you see here was also all carpet. And fun story, when I ripped up all of the carpet that was all through the house, there was actually 2 layers. So they had just layered carpet on carpet, and then there was the underlay, of course. So there was a lot of carpet I had to get rid of. I have another bedroom, won't go in there, my housemate's bedroom. This is a feature. So this is my toilet. It actually has a window in it, which we cover with Who Gives a Crap toilet paper wrapping. It's actually got a small dog imprinted on it, but it actually is see-through kind of. So if you go up close and you look in, you can actually see someone in the toilet. So that's why it's covered up. If you come through to my toilet, there's a lot going on. It's very yellow, it's very old. The exhaust fan is not fun at all. That exhaust fan actually circulates poo smell through the rest of the vents in the house, so don't turn that on. You will regret it, and everyone in the house will hate you. If you come out of the toilet, you'll actually find a little linen cupboard. I feel like I don't want to go in there because it's messy at the moment. But again, storage. So much storage in this house. So if you come to the very end of the hallway, you get probably my second favorite part of the house, which is my bedroom. So this is also one of the things that sold me about the house, is a couple of days a week I work from home, and so I really wanted somewhere with a study, but it was becoming out of my budget to get a place with a study or with an extra bedroom. So I'll show you the fun quirky thing about my bedroom. Come on in. So this is my bed. I sleep in it. I don't really know what to say apart from I sleep in it. So if you come around the back side of my door, you will see my walk-in wardrobe, which is massive. And I don't know what person needs a wardrobe this big, but I actually have filled it up. So this is a bit embarrassing. It also has one of these doors here, which you have seen in the living room, 2 of them in the living room. And again, it's just feeling very orange. There's just like a lot happening. And originally I loved it, but waking up and looking at it every day makes you feel a certain way. So what I also love about this room is I have a large window, and it doesn't have the prettiest view at the moment, but I'm hoping sometime in the next couple months I'm going to do a bit of a garden reno here and a bit of a shed reno. There's some exciting things coming up for that shed, so stick around if you want to see those. Now, this was one of the things that sold me on the house, and apparently other buyers had thought it was really weird. I also think it's weird, but off my bedroom is this little room here. When I bought this house and I saw this room, apparently it was deterring people because of how random it was. And I was like, do you know what, this is exactly what I need. You come on in, there's this room off the main bedroom that has this window in it, and also this door goes to my garage. So you come in from my garage into my study, into my bedroom, and then through the hallway into the rest of the house. So it's a very weird layout. But it deterred people, which meant for me, I was very lucky because I needed a space exactly like this to do my work from home days. And this is Beanie's little corner. She loves to lie in here and sleep. This is one of my favourite pieces of furniture. I put it together myself and it's really uneven, so I don't like to look at it too much. So I also want to touch on the floors in here. So these floors were also carpet everywhere except the toilet, the bathroom, the laundry and kitchen. So I also want to talk about the walls in the whole of this house. I had a lot of friends help me strip the wallpaper off. That took a really, really long time. And then also patch and sand the walls. Now, I'm just gonna say that probably took more time than stripping the wallpaper off because there were so many holes in the walls and it was a lot of places were literally just bare plaster from they had stuck wallpaper straight on plaster, so we had to finish it all off. And there was really old paint in some spots that was like flaking and bubbling under the wallpaper, so that took time. Also pretty much every ceiling in this house was repainted either by me or my boyfriend or my dad. So that took a lot of time because if you'll notice the ceiling, it's like a quilted type ceiling and in the living room it's also textured. So that took a lot of paint and a lot of hand brushing, which wasn't fun. And I'm really glad that part of the reno is over because that kills your neck if you've ever painted a ceiling. Thank you for watching this video. As you can probably tell from my voice, I am a little bit sick, so I'm a bit low on energy. Probably in the next video, I'll be much more hyped. I have lots of plans for this house, including the backyard reno. I want to do the kitchen, I want to do the bathroom. I'd potentially like to add a second bathroom in. And then there's just lots of little jobs that need to be done. There's also going to be a lot of gardening content. I love gardening. I would love to do a tour of the garden. Right now it is shambles, so maybe in the next week or so I will do a garden tour and you'll see how shambles it is because we want to do a full renovation on the garden so that we can enjoy it. Thank you for watching this video. This is the house under the Norfolk. That's all I've got to say. Bindi. She's chaos. I haven't done the caulking on the edges. Is that what you call it? Skirting. No, this is skirting. Beading.
Beading.
Beading. I haven't done the beading on the edges. What is that called?
Shower head.